Well, for the longest time, he has been saying that it's only words, and words are all he has to take your heart away. Well, Ronan Keating has that, and he has a legacy of songs to his credit, of course, in his solo career as a singer, and of course, as part of the boy band, the iconic Boyzone. I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, there is no way that you could have missed the lure of Boyzone and main man Ronan Keating. Ronan, great to have you with us on ET Now. I know you have legions.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you. You're joining us from London.
You too.
Yeah. You have legions of fans here in India, Ronan, and this is something that you've come back to a couple of times that you've been here. You're performing now in Mumbai at Phoenix Market City. Tell us about your best memories from here, both on and off stage, the kind that's pulling you back to experience perhaps some more of it.
Okay.
And, yeah, and what are the songs that you reckon your fans would like you to sing for them?
Well, my first memory of India was back in the 90s with Boyzone. We came out to Mumbai and Bangalore, and we did shows, and the energy was incredible. Just the energy on the streets, energy when we arrived, the love and the passion for Boyzone was incredible. But then one of my favorite memories was when I came back, I think 2003 or 4, and I came back for the MTV India Awards, and I performed on stage there. And that was incredible. I could not believe the colors, the talent, the musicians, the sounds that were being created. I fell in love with India. And for me, that was my favorite time there. I had a really great time in Mumbai for that. So for me, this time I'm coming back as a solo artist to perform. These will be my first live shows on my own in India. Mm-hmm. And to get to come and play in these venues is going to be very, very special.
You know, I was at one of those media conferences when you came to Mumbai the first time as part of the boy band Boyzone, and to get in a question edgeways was so difficult. But really, Ronan, to hark back a little to the past, you were 16 perhaps at the time that you started with Boyzone. It's one thing really to follow your passion, but to turn it into a kind of success that resonates within you as success. Now, that's not always so easy. I've heard you refer to the songs that you wrote in that time as disposable pop. But still, those songs got you the fame, got you the success. How do you see your own growth as a singer, as a songwriter from then to now?
Oh, well, yeah, I think when I say disposable pop, the 90s was a kind of for a lot of the pop bands, the Spice Girls, Take That, Boyzone, Backstreet Boys, we were on this freight train, all of us at the same time, and it was moving very fast, and we didn't have a lot of control. As we got older, we kind of retained it. We took a lot of the control. So as I went, my progress into a solo artist, it became a lot more meaningful to me and a lot more, so those songs like When You Say Nothing at All and If Tomorrow Never Comes and Life is a Roller Coaster, songs that are still played on the radio today around the world, they just meant a lot more to me, and they became more meaningful, and to people as well. The 90s were very important to us all from when it came to a pop culture point of view. But the songs themselves, it became more important as I became a solo artist for me. And I can feel that now, that makes sense to me. And I think when I come back to India next week or the week after, when I start doing the shows, the songs that I've put on the set list, I have got all those songs like If Tomorrow Never Comes and Roller Coaster, but I have some of those Boyzone songs in my set list too, because I know a lot of people want to come along and remember the 90s. They want to be transported back in time to the 90s. So I've added a lot of those songs to the set list.
Which is great, and your fans would be very happy to hear that. Do tell us, if you were to create a Boyzone today, a boy band, like the kind that you had, which had the kind of following that reminded you of the Beatles once upon a time, how would it work? It would be very different, right?
Yeah, I think, we saw a transition, even with the boy bands of the 90s to the One Direction, let's say, how they, changed and evolved. And I think, there's a lot of people out there trying to form boy bands now. And they're using a formula that's not relevant. It doesn't work like it used to work. It needs to be different. And you see with BTS, it's a different type of boy band. You have to find something unique. You have to find something new.
Right.
It can't be the same thing. What we were in the 90s was something that stood alone then. It doesn't transcend, it doesn't work, it doesn't transport into this time. So I think, if I was working on a boy band now, I would have to have a whole different attitude on how to put them together and what to do with them.
It'd be very interesting to see how you would make that happen even right now. But, you know, a lot changed when you went solo, and it normally would, when you kind of have the success of a boy band like Boyzone, and then you decide to follow a solo career. I think it was in 1999. You were still part of the band, and you sang for the film Notting Hill. And that song went down in history, along with the film. A lot changed at that time for you, right? I mean, how did you modify yourself to get into a solo career? What was the thought process?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, at the premiere, the world premiere was in London, and Julia Roberts come up to me and she said, oh my God, Ronan, when I heard the song in the movie, it made me cry. And I thought, oh my Lord, this is everything. I mean, this was the stamp of approval. This is going to be a success. It became very exciting for me. I was still in the band when I released the song, so I had that comfort blanket, and it was a stepping stone almost. And the success was so huge that immediately the record company said, right, we need to make an album, a solo album. So I did. I made it, and off we went, and we made, you know, this incredible. I went to Los Angeles and made this album with Greg Alexander, with Roller Coaster and Loving Each Day, and all these songs, and it was just crazy. I mean, that's where it all began for me, really, and I kind of found my feet as an artist, and I've never looked back. I'm 30 years this week, celebrating my 30 years this week in the industry, and it's
right.
It's pretty special.
Of course it is. But, you know, I represent a business news channel in India, and in the corporate world, there is a lot of attrition. But then more and more, you hear of people who exit companies they've worked in for years on end to do something of their own. You know, it kind of resonates at some level. You've done it yourself, and you broke away from Boyzone, launched a solo career. How planned was that move, and did it really turn out the way you imagined it to be?
It was not planned at all. The boys, all of us, the five of us, needed a break from the pressure cooker after 6 years. We wanted a break. So we all decided together, let's do this. And we all pursued different things. That just lasted 7 years. The break lasted 7 years. So it wasn't planned at all. But I do believe in hard work. My dad taught all of his children to work hard. It's all about grafting. And the football player that trains the hardest gets his game on a Sunday. That's what my dad's mentality was.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, and that's what I teach my children too. It's about the hard work. And I think that's really what I do and continue to do every day. I constantly work. I'm not the type of person who sits back and doesn't work. I don't feel comfortable, you know, sitting by a swimming pool. It doesn't work for me.
But there are risks that you take. But to take those risks, Ronan, you need to be on a sound financial footing as well. Were you when you decided to make those life choices, those career choices?
No. I don't think so. You know, but I was young when I went solo.
Right.
You know, I was 16 when I joined the band. So by the time 1999 came around, I was 20-something, 22, 23 years of age. I was so young that I'm not thinking about, you know, or worried about settling down or in that sense of like, you know, I need to think about financially. I was still kind of figuring out who I was and where my career was going to take me. So, no, I think, I don't think that crossed my mind.
Tell us about your collaborations as well, Ronan. You've worked with the likes of Elton John and the Bee Gees, and of course, you've done covers for many of their songs as well. What's your approach to making a collaboration click?
Oh, I think it's finding somebody that you can connect with, someone you like, someone that you're, you know, you can communicate with on a level that, you know, and that you understand. I think so. Not all artists can collaborate. They can't, you know, there's people out there that just wouldn't blend and wouldn't work well together. So for me, all of my choices have been with people that I feel like I have a connection with. I've met them beforehand, you know, spent time around them. So yeah, it's always been that way. I've been very lucky to have, you know, great friendships in this industry, like with the Bee Gees and Elton and people like that. Yeah. That has been, you know, very, very special, very, very special, and I'm very honored.
I also know, Ronan, that you've dealt with grief in a deep way, the loss of your mother and your friend from Boyzone, Stephen Gately. And I know you have a very strong view about how men deal with grief and how they need to take their mental health more seriously. What do you suggest they do?
Talk. Communicate with each other. You know, everybody says, I think, you know, everybody said when you lose somebody, the first line everyone says is, you know, be strong. And you know, you'll get through this. I think what everybody needs to realize is that it's not about being strong. It's about being weak. It's about being able to lean on people you love. Everybody puts up walls and they try and be strong, and I need to be strong for my friends, or I need to be strong for my family, and all that does is delay a process that's going to hit you so hard. And what you need to do is you need to be soft, you need to be weak, and you need to let down your barriers, and you need to grieve. And that's really, really important. And I'm still learning to do that. I lost my brother this year in July in a terrible car accident.
Yes, we heard.
And
Very sorry.
I'm still dealing with this process.
Yes.
Every day, every single day when I open my eyes in the morning, it's the first thing that hits me. And I'm still dealing with this process. But what I am doing is I'm talking about it, and that I'm communicating about it, and I'm trying to talk to my children about it, and I'm trying to talk to my wife about it and lean on them and use them as the comfort blanket that I need in this time.
Right.
So I think the one thing I will say is communicate.
Right.
Talk about it.
Yes.
Don't bottle it up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very important to keep going, no matter the kind of hurdles that you come across. It's very important to keep going, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure you've got your big to-do list as well. The kind of items that would be there on your bucket list. I don't know if you have one or not, but which are the ones that make it to the top ranks over there?
Well, we're coming to India. My wife and I are coming to India next week, and I'm very excited to show her India. She's never seen it before.
Right.
So it's actually, we've been very lucky to travel around the world together, and we've seen pretty much most of it. Storm has never been to India, my wife. So we're gonna take a few days break. I've got a Dubai show next week, and then we're gonna go north. We're going to discover India, an India that I've never seen either. So for me, that is a big moment on our bucket list. So I'm very, very excited about that. Also, I have dreams to climb Mount Everest. I have dreams to do. There's other challenges that I want to set myself in life. I'm 46 years old now, and I'm getting every year closer to that 50. And there's things I want to do before I'm 50. So yeah, but a lot of it is about seeing this world. We have a magnificent planet, beautiful communities and people, and for me is to witness as much of that as possible.
Travel is a great way to unwind, and it's something that many of us enjoy doing so much. And yes, there are so many places in the world that one would want to explore. But Ronan, in terms of being able to unwind, the kind of pressures that you had when you started off in this career of fame and success, and how you've kind of designed your life now, there would be a remarkable kind of transformation that you would have gone through as well. What is your process now in terms of keeping yourself fit, in prepping for shows? How do you do it?
I try and stay fit as best I can, and I try and be wise with my diet. As you get older, you realize how important that part is. When you're younger, you can eat what you want, and it doesn't really affect you. But honestly, how I love to unwind is being with my family. I love to cook. I love good wine. So great wine, good food with my family is something that that helps me unwind. And talking, every evening as a family, we sit around the dinner table when I'm here. And that is, our favorite thing to do. Eat good food, reasonably good food, and drink good wine and talk to each other and talk about the day. And there's no better way than that for me. Connection with my family is everything. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I do.
That's true. And as far as your career goes, there is so much more than singing and songwriting that you've done, Ronan. And of course, there is the social cause as well right now, but there is more. There is television, and there is anchoring, and there is so much more. So this is something that, again, you worked on, and which are the targets that you've set when it comes to doing more of the stuff that you haven't done?
Yeah, well, I have my own breakfast radio show in London, which I do midweek. I have I'm co-anchor on the one show on the BBC, which I did last night, which was a huge show. We had a massive moment where we showcased the new Beatles song last night on the one show and played an 11-minute film. It was a pretty special night. So yeah, look, I've done these. That's not my priority though. My priority as when it comes to work is music, and I love to sing. I love to perform. I love to be on stage. That is, where I feel most comfortable and most at home. And it's crazy. Like, I like to play golf, and I'll stand on a tee box And if there's 4 or 5 people watching me, I'm nervous and my hands will shake and I'll hit a bad shot. But I can stand on stage with 100,000 people and I don't have any nerves. I feel at home in a place like, on stage in that place.
Which is absolutely wonderful. I was going to ask you whether, like some performers, you still have butterflies in your stomach when you go up to perform, but clearly not. But since you love singing so much, Ronan, I want to request you if you can leave us with a little earworm, a song that we could hum till you come around and do it yourself here in Mumbai.
Oh, a song. Missy, are you still there? Would you pass me a guitar? Please, sweetheart. Thanks. My daughter's just going to get me a guitar.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Maybe the Taylor, the brown Taylor. Thanks. Yeah, we'll just see what we can find real quick. Yeah, so very excited about coming to India, and thank you very much to everybody that's bought tickets so far. It's going to be very special. I can't wait. Here comes my guitar tech. Thank you, Missy. Cheers. I don't know if it's tuned. Hey. It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, light up the dark. Try as I may, I can never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. Truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. Touch of your hand says you catch me wherever I fall. You say it back when you say nothing at all. There you go. How about that?
Love it, Ronan. Can't wait to get more of this when you're in our part of the world. Here's wishing you a great time ahead, Ronan, an absolutely banging concert tour in India.
Thank you.
We'll be there cheering you on, that's for sure. Thanks indeed for joining us, Ronan.
I'll see you guys. See you soon. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.